Golf clubs have never been more expensive, but there's also never been as many quality budget options as now in 2024. Hi everyone, my name's James Robinson. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today, as you can see, we have two sets of irons, which I personally think are some of the best, more affordable irons that money can buy in 2024. We have the Takomo 301 CB and MB mixers, and we also have the Tora forged irons. So we're going to test them against each other today. We're going to test them out here on the golf course and of course in the studio where it counts to see just what ball speed, spin rate, launch angle, distance we get. I'm going to kick things off with the 7 irons. That really hurt my finger, that. Like, you know, my finger was twisted and I just had to let it go. But we're going to go 7 irons to kick things off. So as you can see, two very similar looking clubs. And if I draw you into a little bit of a secret, because as you will know, these aren't the standard 301 Takomos. These are the copper versions, the Next 100 Tour versions that people, are using. But we actually did, Chris has already shown you, we actually did prototype these in black as well. So if you look at the black compared to the Tora, it gives you more of an idea on just how similar these clubs really do look. The Tora with that dual step cavity, and of course the Takomo with that single cavity. So one of the big things here is how much are they? So they're both around kind of $500. So there or thereabouts, we're going to say they're the same price. Both come with Both come with premium components such as shaft and grip. I have put some different coloured grips on these, but you can obviously get them as standard with Golf Pride grips or Lamkin grips. Right, 165 out, 7 iron. We've got a long way in here, and I'm a huge fan of how 301s look with Takomo. I think these are potentially some of the best irons ever released, especially when it comes to budget, because generally you're getting everything that you do want for that cut price. So again, these standard would be kind of chrome. They're very nice in chrome, but I do prefer this Next 100 finish. Let's play a nice little drawing off this wind. Feel-wise, the Takomos have been really, really good for a long time now. That's got to be over that bunker. We're too far away, aren't we? Yeah. I think we might be biting off a little bit more than we can chew with that distance. How far have we got? It's 183 playing 193. So Chris, we can't really eyeball that anymore, but feel-wise that felt spectacular. And as you can see, I'm at 6s and 7s here. Turf interaction was fantastic. Now, the Tora irons do have a little bit more offset on them, so if you do miss the ball to the right a little bit, that might help you a little bit more as well. The finish on these has been really impressive because Chris has hit a lot of shots with these and they're just starting to wear on the face, so a lot of people do worry what a black finish would look like, whereas realistically, these don't do too bad at all. Let's see how close to the Takomo ball we can get. That's terrible, isn't it, Chris? Terrible. Right, a carbon copy of a strike, a lovely high ball flight, and again, just moving from right to left ever so slightly. Those balls are pretty much bang next to each other. I think the Tora has gone a little bit further, and for me, the Tora felt incredibly soft as well. So I thought this might end up being a little bit of a kind of one-sided comparison, because we all know Takomo are working with loads and loads of people across the golfing world. Tora you may never have heard of, but you might want to try them. Guys, let's jump in the studio. Let's talk some numbers for these clubs. Then we're going to test the long irons and the short irons out here on the course where it matters and compare them for all that good stuff. So you'd be forgiving thinking these irons should both perform exactly the same, having very similar price points, both being premium components, and both been a brand that a couple of years ago we may never have heard of, with fairly similar logos actually, if we look at those. I've just thought of that. But guys, which one's going to perform better in here in the studio? I think personally, the Takomos feel a little bit softer, but I'm really looking forward to seeing which ones perform better, because I know generally a lot of you guys don't really care what feels better or even what looks better. You want the performance, and I'm here for that. I'm starting to understand that a little bit more, having spoken to so many of you. So a 6 iron for me, I'd be thinking around 180 with these specs, with these nice traditional lofts. Maybe a little bit more if I really go after it, but a nice stock shot. Takomo 301 first. I feel that really good, but it's left. That's going to be long. That's a bit of a pull. Backspin still at 5.7, so it's not overly bad. 178 yards, 187 total. What I like about that is it's not ridiculous. Sometimes you can pull a club, the spin can massively drop off, it can go like long left and you can be in a load of trouble. That ball flight doesn't look overly sexy, but for me with a bad golf swing, I think it looks really, really good. So let's hit a couple more and we'll compare them with the Toras. That was nice. That was really nice. Again, spinning at 5,008, a little bit high, but it's a 175, it's a 183 total. Consistency is pretty good. It's pretty good. I can tell that I've delivered a little bit too much dynamic loft there. It's launched a little bit higher. You can see with the peak heights actually as well that it has just launched that little bit higher. So let's try and sort that out. Oh, that was terrible. That was like, oh, good Lord. That's the one that a lot of people wouldn't put in the review, but we're going to because I like to see how it performs. Hopefully I can hit a similar one with the Tora. That's launched really low, spun really low, and it's only gone 167 yards. One more Takomo, then we'll go Tora. And that's the one I want you all to see, because that for me is just a nice balanced golf swing. And that's going 180 in the air, 187 total. So you can tell these aren't the world's most forgiving golf clubs, but they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be a nice forged head with a nice solid feel to them and perform pretty well if you do get them. So what we're looking for out of the Tora, this is the black version. You could get them in copper as well, but also, spoiler alert, there's something special coming with the 301s. I don't know, I'm not allowed to say, but you all know they're the special editions. So this immediately looks smaller down at the ball. And I can't believe how soft that felt. That felt incredibly soft. And that's 183 off the bat, 192 total, still spinning at 6,000. That's the number that I immediately look for. If I have one that goes nice and long, I look at the spin and I think, you know what? That's doing everything I want it to do. It's launched at 17. What more do you want from a 6 iron, especially one that looks this good? Wow. Tora, where have you been? Look at that again. 187, 196 total. This is starting to become everything you want it to be from a comparison. Hopefully we can hit one of those bad ones now. It's funny, you can't on purpose, can you? No, you just got to... I feel like I'm like in the zone as well now. I mean, that was a bit toey, but it's still going to be really impressive. 6,000 spin, it's going to carry 170 odd. 184 carry. And this is when we start talking about your TaylorMade, your Titleist, your Callaway, your PXG, your Mizunos, your Pings. These guys might start putting an end to the dominance that we see with them, because these both perform really, really well. And I feel like the more I'm swinging with both these clubs, the better I'm doing. I think numbers-wise, the Tora are just going to take it, to be honest. I don't know if I just feel more comfortable looking down at that head, but it's another 182 with 190 total. And I'm starting to think that budget golf clubs are going to take over the world in 2024. There we go. There we go. Let's get back out on the golf course and see which one you should spend your money on. So that's the last time that I ever get a distance and just blag it and don't mile see it, because that's taught us a grave lesson. But I think it's fair to say that they are very, very consistent. Guys, what are those numbers inside as well? I think it's amazing how consistent they are, and also quite amazing how different these clubs feel as well. Because I always thought the Takomos were going to be the softest clubs, when realistically there's not as much in it as what you might think. Would you like to see this test with a premium set as well? I think that'd be very interesting. Okay, so when it comes to long irons in both the Takomo and the Tora irons, you can see we actually have the Takomo in the Mega limited edition, which wasn't even released, black finish. So we can start to see the similarities and the differences here more so with these clubs. I think they look so similar, especially when we do get them in that same colour, that realistically you could say you can't go wrong with either of these clubs. So it comes down to how speccable are they, how fittable are they on their online tools. And again, I think realistically the Tora website is very, very good. You can choose different shafts in there, but it will start to add up. The Takomo website, you can get obviously different lie angles and lofts, but you are stuck with the KBS shafts. So certainly room for thought there. Let's go to Takomo to kick things off.
But you can also buy just the heads on both of them.
Yeah, you can buy just heads on both as well if you like, which, to be honest, I would probably do if you knew what you wanted and then take them to a custom club fitter like SGGT Golf, and then potentially you could... I've got 2 gloves. You know what? Gloves are like buses, aren't they? Double gloving. Right, Takomo first. We're going to go off the deck. Give ourselves a nice lie. I love the look of these. They do look stunning in this black finish. And that felt absolutely gorgeous. Lovely turf interaction, nice high ball flight. I know from experience that you can play that ball flight down if you do want to as well, so the versatility is there, and forgiveness wise it's exactly what you would anticipate from a club with that kind of perimeter weighting on it. It's not the most forgiving club in the world, it's not as forgiving as the 101T iron, which is their hollow bodied iron, very similar to the P770 for example. Let's have a look at Tora now and let's see what kind of shot we get here. So I think looking down at it, it's very obvious that there is a little bit more offset on here and the top line is a little bit thicker. Blade length might be a bit shorter as well, which I don't really understand because it's a bit of an oxymoron. But let's go similar shot. That's actually leaking to the right a little bit. Felt very good as a strike, nice turf interaction. Can't believe how much movement that had on it because that felt like a very similar swing, an identical strike. Is there something in there when it comes to forgiveness with the Takomo that could be more so than the Tora? Let's have a look at the short irons and see exactly what the difference is here, because if there's that much offset on the Tora short iron, you might be wanting to look at the Takomo unless you want that big right to left ball flight. Okay, so when it comes to the short irons, you can see here I have the 9 irons. So in the Takomo set, I actually have the 301 MB, whereas the Tora are a full cavity back set. So you can get the 301 in the cavity back set if you do like. I think that's a masterstroke by Takomo offering the split set, because so many golfers love the idea of playing a blade but don't always want blades throughout the set. So that split set will help massively. And when it comes to, have we got an applause there?
Round of applause.
And when it comes to potentially splitting the set, Chris, can you do that with Tora? Order different heads?
Not as far
I believe
as
you can just order the heads, can't you? So
yeah.
Let's go to Takomo to kick things off. Huge fan of the MB looking head, and we have played a lot of golf with these clubs on the Next 100 tour. Let's try and play a nice 9-9 in from 150. And that's everything I want from a 9-iron blade. That's really, really nicely struck. Landing just on the right hand side, releasing down. Turf interaction wise, pretty much everything that I do want. That's going to be down to that leading edge. So you can see the leading edge on the Takomo isn't just like a kind of square boxed off. There's actually a little bit of buffer in there that does help with that turf interaction. So these are all small things, but to me the small things that do make a difference. If we look at the leading edge on the Tora, very similar as well. It's kind of buffed off a little bit. If that was really sharp, when you dug it would dig, wouldn't it, Chris?
It would.
So let's see if we can get closer with the 9. The 9 looks a little bit bigger, again, thicker top line, more offset. Not as nice a looking short iron for me. But again, that actually felt soft. I think the Toras, personally, do feel a little bit softer than the Takomos, but I don't think you would be disappointed with either of these clubs if you were to try them. But again, that's the issue. Can you try them? Guys, thanks for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you all exactly the same time tomorrow for another one.